Hello everyone. Welcome back to our weekly Science and Technology Current Affairs series. Namaste to all gadgeted officers, IES, IPS, doctors, surgeons. We are covering updates from 15 to 22nd September. Till part 2, we completed 22 updates out of 33, and in today's part 3, we will cover the remaining updates. My dear aspirants, these updates are not just news, each one is connected to exam oriented learning. That's why I will be sharing prelims based MCQs, mains question, and one liner recaps with every update. This will help you revise faster and remember longer, especially for UPSC, BPSC, state PCS, banking, SSC, and other competitive exams. So let's begin today's session with update number 23 and complete our full list of 33 science and technology updates. So 23rd update is about Nuttall kick. Scientists measure it for the first time. What is a Nuttall kick? Nuttall kick is a powerful recoil. Image is visible. It is a powerful recoil velocity, a newly formed black hole. It is a newly formed black hole, which is a powerful recoil velocity received from an unevenly distributed cosmic event. So it happened due to uneven distributed cosmic events such as an asymmetric supernova explosion or the uneven merger of two black holes. So reason of forming this Nuttall kick are asymmetric supernova because of explosion, or the second reason, uneven merger of two black holes. This kick can send a black hole hurtling through space at very extreme speed, fast speeds. So scientists measured a Nuttall kick for the first time. So two unequal black holes, recoiling black holes. These are the reason are the gravitational waves. So in September 2025, researchers announced that they had measured the Nuttall kick of a black hole for the first time, which help in analyzing gravitational waves. So Nuttall kick is a recoil or SOF. Recoil is also known as SOF. A newborn black hole. It is a newborn black hole which is receives after a black hole merger of vastly different size black holes. Merger of different types of black holes, or it is also formed from a lopsided supernova event that catapults it into space. So supernova is a supernova explosion result in any uneven distribution of exploding stars material. When any uneven explosion of stars material take place, and its remaining is known as a supernova, which gives its twisted or asymmetrical shape. In September 2025, it was for the first time, scientists successfully measured this kick's velocity with the help of advanced LIGO. Advanced LIGO is a major upgrade for laser in interferometer gravitational wave observatory, which is consisting of two LSEP detectors in Hanford, Washington, and Livingston, Louisiana. So advanced LIGO is a major upgrade to the laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory device. So with the help of advanced LIGO and Virgo detectors, scientists observed the resultant gravitational wave signal. Gravitational wave signal because of this high velocity from the merger of 29.7 and 8.4 solar mass black hole. So which imparted a speed of which gave a speed of over 31 miles per second to the new black hole. The speed was 31 miles per second, means 50 kilometer per second to the new black hole. It was the speed. So Nuttall kick is which is caused because of recoil from a violent events. It is a recoil or energetic shock given to newly, which give rise to newly formed black hole. It give rise to newly formed black hole. So this kick can result. The reason of forming this black hole or this Nuttall kick is because of the merger of black holes, with significantly the black holes are having different masses, which is leading to, which give rise to lopsided collision and resulting in uneven energy distribution. And because of this uneven energy distribution take place, and it also occurs, this Nuttall kick is also formed because of asymmetric supernova, means explosion of stars materials, causing the remnant to have a remaining of that collision of a star material to have a twisted or asymmetric shape. So outcome is this imbalance causes the new black hole to move in opposite direction because of the merger of two black hole of different masses, just like a rocket recoiling when it fires. It is just symbolizes or seen like that two rockets recoiling when it fires, or recoiling when it fires. So it was first measurement. In 2019, advanced LIGO and Virgo detectors captured gravitational wave signal, and that wave signal is GW1904112. In 2019, advanced LIGO and Virgo detectors captured a gravitational wave signal. And name of that wave signal was GW1904112, which formed from a violent merger of two black holes, because formed from the merger of two black holes with different masses. These black holes are having different masses. It was a breakthrough in recent September 2025. Scientists deciphered these signals and measured the Nuttall kick of the resulting newborn black hole. So the speed, the newly formed black hole was ejected at a speed of more than 31 miles per second, means the speed was more than 50 kilometer per second. So this velocity is sufficient to propel it out of its parent star cluster. What happened during the black hole collision? In 2019, researchers detected a gravitational wave signal. Signal name is GW1904112. So it came from the merger of two black holes, collision of two black holes colliding billions of light years away, which were colliding billions of light years away. So normally when what was the normal phenomena? Normally when two black holes merge, the result is a bigger, heavier black hole. But in this case, the two colliding black holes were unequal in size. Both the black holes were unequal in size. One was about 29.7 times 21 was about the one size is about the 29.7 times the sun's mass. It is about the one size is about the 29.7 times the sun's mass, and the other black hole size was 8.4 times the sun mass. So the black hole size was different. Because of this imbalance, which was seen in the month of September 2025, the new black hole was kicked like a football. It kicked like it was seen like a football kick. So this pull called a Nuttall kick. This is the reason it was called as a Nuttall kick. Sent it speeding through a space at nearly 1,79,600 kilometers per hour. That is 1,11,600 miles per hour. So that because of its fast, it was so fast that the black hole likely escaped from the star cluster where it was born. It was like that it escaped from the star cluster where it was born. So how did scientists measure it? When black holes collides because of irregular mass, uh, they send out gravitational waves. They produce gravitational waves. So these waves carry information. These waves carries information, the mass of the black holes, about their spins, characteristic of spins, and the direction of movement after the merger. So by studying the signal of GW1 from Earth, detector use, we discuss also LIGO in the United States and Virgo in Italy. Scientists could calculate the speed and direction of the kick. So this was the first time a natal kick had been measured directly, instead a just simulation done on computers. So it was first time a natal kick observed, measured directly instead of just simulation simulated on computers. Why is this discovery important? Because it is very important for astronomy. It helps us to scientists to know about black hole growth. So if a new black hole is kicked out of its cluster, it cannot merge again. This limit is how massive black holes grow over time. It also give information about the supermassive black holes. These giants can be supermassive black holes, can be billions of times heavier than the sun. So about natal kicks, it may explain why some galaxies have natal kicks while others don't. This discovery is also important to map the universe, help in mapping the universe. Gravitational waves gives information to scientists, a new way to track the life cycle of to know the life cycle of black holes alongside visible light observation. So it is important for astrophysicists to know about the more black hole collision and to know about the gravitational wave data with light observation, and also help to understand how small black hole evolve into cosmic giants. MCQ question is given: what is natal kick recently measured by scientists for the first time? The recoil velocity, it is a recoil velocity imparted to a neutron star at birth. Next question is, natal kicks are primarily associated with the formation of neutron stars and pulsar. It is a formation of neutron stars and pulsars. Next question is, what astrophysical phenomena is responsible for producing natal clicks in neutron star? The phenomena is a core collapse supernova. Next question is, why are natal kicks important in astrophysics? Because it help physicists to understand the motion and distribution of which star neutron stars in galaxies. Next question is, natal kicks influence which of the following the most? It influences the stability of binary star system. One liner recap: the natal kick, the recoil velocity given to a neutron star at its birth due to asymmetric supernova explosion measured directly by scientists for the first time. Another question is also given. It is for you to just practice. Now, mains question is given. 3 questions are given. So kindly pause the video, practice. Next news is about scientist artificial intelligence launches Open AGI network for million users. So artificial intelligence startups name was Sentiment. Name is Sentiment. It has launched an open source artificial general intelligence AGI. The company name is a artificial startup Sentiment launches Open AGI network, artificial general intelligence network, which guaranteeing access to how many user? 2 million. 2 million wait-listed user. The San Francisco-based company, co-founded by Sandeep Nailwal, Himanshu Tyagi, position the new platform as a decentralized open source alternative to the closed artificial intelligence system of major players like Open Artificial Intelligence and AWS. So in a landmark development for global artificial intelligence startup, company name is Sentiment, artificial startup Sentiment, AI startup Sentiment has launched its open source artificial general intelligence network. It is a network which is providing access to 2 million wait-listed users. 2 million wait-listed users. So this launch announced on September 17 September, it positioned India as the forefront of open AI innovation and sets the stage for direct competition with global giants like OpenAI. India will compete with OpenAI and Amazon Web Services, AWS, Amazon Web Services. So it enable India to do the direct competition with global giants like OpenAI and Amazon Web Service. Key features of Sentiment's AGI networks. It is a real-time agent collaboration. Sentiment platforms it allows over 40 AI agents and models, which is integrated with more than 50 data sources. It is integrated with how many data sources? 50 data sources to collaborate in real time. This means AI can now perform multi-step, high-level tasks ranging from market analysis to new briefings without dependent on siloed system. Now, next features of Sentiment's AGI network is it provides blockchain integration and open access. AGI network is also integrated across multiple blockchains with agents accessible via Sentiment chat, which is a consumer interface. This open source nature allows global developers to contribute and monetize their artificial intelligence model with the help of token-based reward system. What can Sentiment AGI do? So it provides real-time investment research and reporting, personalized daily news briefings, travel planning assistance, and academic and policy research summaries. So this goes far beyond and simple chatbot style interaction. It helps in demonstrating the power of collaborative, composable artificial intelligence. So co-founder is Sandeep Nelwal and Himanshu Tyagi, founded in San Francisco, United States of America. Funding raised $85 million in 2024 in a seed round led by Founders Fund, Pantera Capital, and Framework Ventures. So its vision is to provide the open decentralized intelligence can out innovate a closed corporate system. So according to Nelwal, which is a founder, Nelwal and Himanshu Tyagis, this marks a turning point where India can shape its global artificial intelligence landscape. So what are the future of open source AGI? So Sentiments Network, which is a part of growing movement to democratize artificial intelligence development and help in improvement of greater innovation, transparency, and safety. So it does this by the future of open source AGI is to lowering different types of barriers, making cutting edge AGI tools which are accessible to small organizations, researchers, and startups. It help in different types of innovation, facilitate different types of collaboration across countries and industries. It also build trust by allowing for security of biases and ethical compliances, addressing the black box problem of closed system. So it is important to note that despite the company's name Sentience Network is not actually sentient, a term reserved for a hypothetical future AI with consciousness and self-awareness. So startup name is a sentient. User accessible AGI network is 2 million. Agents and model is 40 plus AI agents. Interface is sentient chant. Founder Sandeep Neliwal Himanshu Tyagi, and it is an incentive model which is token-based rewards and staking. Headquartered is San Francisco, USA. So it is a sentient, not sentiment. So the reason I said sentiment to memorize only. So sentient AI launches Open AGI network for 2 million users. MCQ based question is prelims based question is given. Recently, as headlines stated, sentient AI launches Open AGI network for 2 million users. What does AGI stand for? AGI means Artificial Global Intelligence. Recently, a headline stated AGI Sentiment AI launches headline called Sentient AI launches Open AGI network for 2 million users. What does AGI stand for? Artificial General Intelligence. Main question is given, how discuss the potential benefits and challenges of launching an open artificial general intelligence network for millions of users. One-liner recap is Sentient AI has launched the world first open AGI network, which enabling access to 2 million users. Next news is CAG to launch artificial intelligence based audit system for better oversight. So the Controller and Auditor General of India, CAG, is launching an artificial based audit system. Means audit system also use artificial intelligence to modernize its oversight all processes. Moving towards remote and hybrid auditing. So this strategic shift involves developing in-house large language model and a new digital portal to improve efficiency, increase transparency, and improve the quality of audit findings. So it is with the help of large language model and a new digital portal. So as India's constitutional auditor, the CAG, Controller and Audit General, plays a very important role in ensuring financial accountability and transparency. So with the growing digitization of public records, integrating artificial intelligence into auditing marks a paradigm shift in how oversight institutions adapt to the digital era. So what are the key components of the new system? It is a collaboration of artificial intelligence powered large language model. So it is being trained on decades of the CAG institutional data. Expected by November 2025, the AI will analyze large data sets, identify patterns and risk, generate reports, and automate tasks like data classification. It CAG Connect portal also, there is a digital platform also for the CAG. We are launching in November 2025. Will connect nearly 10 lakh government entities. So it will help direct responses to audit any type of audit queries and reports, improving communication and transparency. So remote and hybrid audits will be performed, which enables remote audits by accessing data from government platforms, reducing dependence on manual field work. So it reduce dependence on manual field work. There are benefits for government auditing. So it offers several benefits, included improved efficiency through automation and rapid data analysis. It improves risk detection also by identifying anomalies that manual process might miss, provides wider audit coverage, increased transparency with the help of digital portal. So it help in better resource allocation. There are few challenges also. So key challenges includes ensuring data quality and integrity from various departments like artificial intelligence, decision transparent and auditables, providing training for auditors to use new tools. It is also required to provide training to auditors how to use new tools, and implementation. So implementing strong data security measures is also required. So the CAG is stabilizing data analytics cell, appointing digital transformation officers to address all these challenges. So why this type of digital system is needed? Because it involves extensive field visits, manual scrutiny of records, and time consuming documentation. So however, government transactions today generate massive digital data which remain underutilized in the absence of automated tools. So what are the key drivers for using artificial intelligence? It help in exponential growth in data volume across government departments. It increased complexity in public financial management, need for cost-effective auditing using both the method report and hybrid method. It demand for faster risk-sensitive assessment over manual inspection. So this shift helped the broader goal of transforming transforming governance through technology, particularly under frameworks like Digital India, under the framework Digital India and e-governance initiative. So one-liner recap is CATCH to launch artificial intelligence-based audit system to boost transparency, efficiency, and oversight in public financial governance. So what is a large language model? So it is a form of artificial intelligence which uses deep learning to understand, generate, and summarize language-based content. It works on probabilistic modeling of unstructured data, which allow to recognize pattern across vast data sets, summarize documents, predict likely outcomes, and generates reports based on learner precedents. Now, broader governance implications. So there is some reform is more than a technical upgrade. So it represents a step toward data-driven governance and real-time accountability. It could also include similar innovation in internal. It also includes similar innovation in internal audits with ministries, regulatory compliance audits, local government and panchayat raj audits. So further, it aligns with global trends where Supreme Audit Institution (SAIS) are using artificial intelligence-based tools to monitor public spending, procurement, and monitor fraud risk also. So prelims question is given. The controller of Audit General of India (CAG) recently announced the launch of artificial intelligence based audit system. Consider the following statement. So read all the question just to practice. So CAG is the important point. The CAG is a constitutional authority established under Article 148, not Article 280, Article 148. So it's audit union, state, PSU accounts, ensuring accountability. So it is a constitutional authority established under Article 148. Mains question is given. Kindly practice. We discussed all the points. Now, next news is Vyomitra, ISRO's artificial intelligence half humanoid for Gaganyaan. ISRO Vyomitra is a artificial image is visible, is a artificial intelligence enabled half humanoid robot which is designed to act as a stand-in astronaut on uncrewed test mission for the Gaganyaan project. So ISRO Vyomitra is an artificial enabled half humanoid robot. It looks like a half humanoid. So half humanoid robot which is designed to act as a stand-in astronaut on uncrewed test mission for Gaganyaan project. So its names come from Sanskrit word Vyoma. Vyoma means space and Mitra means friend. So there is no official info available, but recent news reports includes video footage from which can be made. Now next. So India's ambitious Gaganyaan space mission is set to achieve a key milestone with the deployment of Vyomitra. India's ambitious project is a Gaganyaan space mission, which is set to achieve a key milestone with the deployment of Vyomitra, which is an artificial intelligence powered half humanoid robot. So which is used in an uncrewed test flight scheduled for December 2025. So according to ISRO chairman V. Narayanan, this robot will simulate human function during flight, enabling scientists to access condition inside the crew module ahead of India's first manned space mission. So this development underscores India's technological capabilities in robotics, space medicine, artificial intelligence integration, and human spacelift, which are important themes for science and technology. These are very important points for science and technology in any competitive exam. So what is Vyomitra? As we discussed, it is a half humanoid female robot. It is a female robot. Image you have seen in the previous slide, developed by ISRO to perform functions similar to that of human, which function is similar to the human. So it is known as a half humanoid. So key features, it is artificial intelligence enables capable of speech, environmental monitoring, system control, and human interaction. It is half humanoid, upper body only designed to mimic key human function relevant to space mission. It has sensory capabilities like monitors parameters like temperature, pressure, humidity, and CO2 levels inside the crew models. So these are the key features of Vyomitra, half humanoid robot, female robot. It can operate switch panels and interact with, it can operate different types of switch panels and interact with ground control. So it is a part of preparatory phase of Gaganyaan mission, India's first human space flight program. So Gaganyaan mission context and goals are, it is led by ISRO as all of you are knowing, and it's supported by Indian Air Force, DRDO, Navy, and other institution, aims to send Indian astronauts via mounts to a 400-kilometer low Earth orbit. Its aim is to send Indian astronauts Vyomnauts to a 400-kilometer low Earth orbit. Its duration is 3 days in a space. 3 days in a space. It ensures safe re-entry and landing in Indian waters. So the upcoming uncrewed mission with Vyomitra is critical for testing life support system. It is important for testing life support system, validating re-entry mechanism, and addressing safety protocols and on-board condition. So what are the key updates from ISRO chairman? It is an uncrewed mission launch planned for end of the December 2025. So Vyomitra will be upload this spacecraft to simulate human presence. Mission system involves environmental control check for factors like pressure, humidity, carbon dioxide, deployment of escape system for astronaut safety. Use of nine parasites should be used to ensure safe sea landing. So this mission will set the stage for India's first crewed space flight scheduled tentatively for 2026. Prelims question is given. Consider the following statement regarding Vyomitra. So answer is given. Just you pause the video and practice. Next prelim question is given. Now just pause the video and practice. Mains question is given. One liner recap. Vyomitra is a ISRO's female half humanoid robot designed to simulate human interaction and monitor a spacecraft system during the uncrewed Gaganyaan mission. Next news is National Policy on Geothermal Energy 2025. So India's first national policy on geothermal energy was officially notified by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy (MNRE) in September 2025, which establishes a comprehensive framework to promote an exploration, development, and utilization of geothermal resources, aligning with the country's net zero 2070 target. What are the global comparison of with a national policy on geothermal energy? Iceland's is 90% home uses geothermal heat. Philippines and Indonesia in the world's top 5 producer of geothermal energy. Kenya, over 40% of grid power is geothermal. About China, China world leader in heating with 120 million meters square covered by 2024. About India, India is back. India lags behind. In addition, it must decide whether to follow the Kenyan power model or the Chinese heating model. So India has taken a step towards clean energy, by notifying the national policy on geothermal energy in 2025. So it aims to tap into the country's largely unexplored geothermal resources. India's commitment to achieve net zero target by 2070. So it provides a framework to promote exploration, development, utilization of geothermal energy for electricity generation, power generation, direct application. So the policy was notified by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and the policy encourages research, different types of research, and innovation and international collaboration. It supports geothermal projects. Application of geothermal energy. Application of geothermal energy can be used beyond electricity generation. The policy marks its use in district heating, agriculture, aquaculture, space cooling through ground source heat pumps. Other application includes geothermal energy, include greenhouse farming, tourism, desalination, and cold storage. This can also reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Geothermal energy also can reduce dependence on fossil fuels and support sustainable developments. So this goal is to integrate geothermal energy with India's broader renewable energy targets. So about technology innovation and research, it supports retrofitting abundant oil wells for geothermal use. Advanced technologies like enhanced and advanced geothermal system are also promoted. So it is this development are key to overcome different types of technical challenges and improving its efficiency. About the project implementation and collaboration, MNRE is a nodal agency. MNRE full form we have seen. MNRE is a Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So MNRE is a nodal agency for implementing geothermal projects. So this policy allows developer to obtain exploration permits and 30-year lease, 30-year leases. So state government are urged to establish single window clearance system for faster approvals. Collaboration with oil and gas companies, international geothermal bodies, and research institutions is emphasized. So geothermal potential in India. India has 10 identified geothermal provinces with 381 hot springs. So key region includes Himalayan province, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Cambe Graben in Gujarat, Aravalli province, Rajasthan, Godavari basin, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. Other provinces span Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So this geological survey of India has mapped geothermal site in 16 states. About significance, it provides a stable and continuous power source unlike solar or wind energy. So it can reduce carbon dioxide emission, carbon emission, and improve energy security. So it supports India to diversify its renewable energy mix. It also promotes sustainable economic growth by providing different types of new industries and jobs. Next news is BELEM's Health Action Plan. BELEM Health Action Plans is a strategic framework which is designed to integrate health into climate change. Integrate health into climate change adaptation and create resilient health system worldwide. So it was developed during the 2025 Global Conference on Climate and Health in Brazil. In Brazil. So will be officially launched at the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP30. Belem Health Action Plan, which is aimed to uh, integrates health into climate change. Combination of health into climate change adaptation. It was developed during the 2025 Global Conference happened on climate and health in Brazil, and it will be officially launched at the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP30. COP30 in Belém in November 2025. So COP30 is a climate change conference. COP30 is also known as 2025 United Nations Climate Change Conference. Is the 30th annual Nation Climate Summit scheduled to take place in Belém, Brazil. Scheduled to take place in Belém, Brazil from November 10 to 21, 2025. So it brings together world leaders, scientists, civic society, and other stakeholders to negotiate and advance global climate action under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. UNFCCC under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So the 2025 Global Conference on Climate and Health held in Brazil. Save the Belém Health Action Plans. These plans to be launched at COP30. COP30 in November 2025 aims to define the global agenda on climate and health. So important point, India's absence from the conference was a missed chance to showcase its integrated development model. So India's experience offer important lesson on linking climate action with health through intersectoral welfare program. About India's welfare scheme as climate health models, India's flagship programs demonstrate how non-climate policies yield climate and health benefits. These are welfare scheme are Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman scheme feeds over 110 million children at nearly 1.1 million schools. It connects health, education, agriculture, and food system by promoting millets and traditional grains. So this help in tackling malnutrition and builds climate resilient food system simultaneously. Next scheme is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which improved sanitation and public health while promoting environmental sustainability. Next scheme is Manrega environmental works, which restored ecosystem and enhanced rural livelihoods. Next school is Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, which switched households to clean cooking fuel, reducing air pollution and respiratory illness while cutting carbon emission. So these programs show that health and climate's co-benefit arise from carefully designed welfare policies which are happening in India. About political leadership and community engagement, strong political will was a key in driving this initiative. Direct involvement of the Prime Minister ensured cross-ministerial cooperation and public support. Community engagement is also important. Swachh Bharat invoked Mahatma Gandhi vision, makes cleanliness a cultural value. Pradhan Mantri Poshan built grassroots support through school committees and parents group. About institutional integration and local empowerments. So it addresses social health activities, self-help groups, municipal bodies, and panchayats, which serve as the key factors. Now, what are the challenges in intersectoral policy implementation? Despite success, there are many challenges. Siloed administration hampers coordination as policies move from outputs to outcomes. For example, LPG refill cost under Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana remain high due to conflicting business interest. There are many social and cultural barriers also limit equitable access without ongoing reinforcement. There is a framework for health anchored climate governance. India's experience suggests a three-pillar approach. What are the three-pillar approach? First, strategic prioritization by political leaders framing climate as an immediate health concern. Second is procedural integration by embedding health impact assessment in all climate relevant policies. Third is pillar is a participatory implementation, leveraging health as a community mobilizer. So this approach links cleaner air, safe water, and nutritious food to tangible health benefits, enabling local health workers to become climate advocates. Now we have learned about the topic COP. So what do you mean by COP? COP is the supreme decision making body of UNFCCC, which is a multilateral treaty adopted in the year 1992. In the year 1992. At the Rio Earth Summit, 1992 at the Rio Earth Summit. So the first CO2 was held in Berlin in the 1995. Since then, meetings have been held annually to access progress and negotiate different types of strategy to combat climate changes. About Paris Agreement, a landmark achievement of COP21 in 2015, the Paris Agreement aims to limit the global temperature increases to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, with efforts to limit 1.5 degrees Celsius. Limit reaches only 1.5 degrees Celsius and the main limit is a 2.2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. COP meetings are important for assessing and driving forwards the goal of Paris agreements. What are the key focus area of COP30? COP30 focus on reviewing and updating the National Climate Action Plans (NDCs) submitted by the Council under the agreement. The name is the Paris Agreement. So, Paris Agreement more ambitious National Climate Action Plans are seen by the UNFCCC as a potential last chance to align the world with the 1.5 degrees Celsius target. About the next focus area is climate focus. So following COP29, where parties agreed on a Baku to Belém roadmap 1.3T, COP30 will host negotiation on a scaling international climate finance for developing nation to at least $1.3 trillion annually by 2035. So one-liner recap is the Belém Health Action Plan is a WHO PAHO-led climate health roadmap to be launched at COP30, built around equity, social participation, three strategic pillars aimed at making health system climate resilient. Prelims question is given. Just you pause the video and read all the question. Mains question is given. Just practice all the question. Next news is artificial intelligence driven audits uncover massive fraud in Indian states. Controller and Audit General of India announced that audit using artificial intelligence and machine learning have revealed considerable fraud in state beneficiary programs. According to CAG, it announced that audits using AI and machine learning have revealed many fraud in state beneficiary programs. Reports published in September 2025 confirmed that CAG of India, K. Sanjay Murthy, revealed that artificial intelligence and machine learning based forensic audits have uncovered large-scale fraud in several state beneficiary schemes. So this announcement made during the second State Finance Secretary Conference, highlighting the growing role of advanced technology in enhancing transparency and efficiency in government audit process. So the Controller and Auditor General of India has recently revealed the use of artificial intelligence and machine learnings to detect widespread fraud in various state beneficiary schemes. So this breakthrough was announced by CAG Sanjay Murthy during the second State Finance Secretaries Conference in 2025 about AI and machine learning used in auditings to conduct forensic audits. It helped to identify fraudulent transactions quickly and accurately with the help of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Based audits can examine large data sets, flag anomalies, and reduce manual mistakes. So this approach ensures financial saving by preventing misuse of funds in state schemes. It is also very important points. Now about the remote audits and digitization. Digitization of audit processes is a priority for CAG. So remote audits allows auditor to examine records without physical presence, reducing logistic challenges. So these methods enables timely audit also and wider coverage such as 100% audit of GST and income tax databases. So remote auditing depends on department digitizing their data and records. So about the expansion of digital public finance infrastructure, so system like Integrated Finance Management Information System, IFMS, government e-procurement platforms and Digital India land record modernization program strengthen transparency. So it also track government spending, reduce corruption, help in reducing corruption and improving accountability. What are the role of government initiative? Programs such as Sana Spurs aim to improve cash management in government. So special assistant to states for capital investment support, IT infrastructure and development. Impact on governance and accountability, the use of artificial intelligence and machine language and digitalization in audit marks a shift towards data-driven governance. Increased transparency deters different types of fraudulent activities. So greater accountability strengthen public trust. Prelims question is given. Recently, artificial intelligence driven audits in India revealed large scale financial irregularities in several states. Which of the following is the constitutional authority primarily responsible for such audits? Catch. The use of AI in government audit is expected to improve which of the following? Just read and practice. The report of CAG to India are submitted to which of the following authorities? To the President of India. Which of the following statement is correct? Just you go through and practice. Which of the following emerging technologies is most relevant for fraud detection in government audits? Blockchain and artificial intelligence. So most blockchain and artificial intelligence, most relevant. Mains question are given, so kindly pause the video and practice. We have discussed all the points. One liner recap. Artificial intelligence driven audits by Catch have uncovered massive fraud in Indian states, highlighting the growing role of technology in ensuring transparency, accountability, and efficiency in public financial management. Next news is new deep sea coral name of that new deep sea coral is Iridogorgia chewbacca discovered. Iridogorgia chewbacca discovered. So a new deep coral species discovered from the tropical Western Pacific has a name, and the name is the Iridogorgia chewbacca. So the colony stands alone on rocky bottoms with a shiny stem and long branches that look like a bit like a flowering hair. So this newly identified species of deep sea coral has been named Iridogorgia chewbacca. It has been named after the Star Wars character Chewbacca. Star Wars character Chewbacca due to its long, flexible, furry-looking branches. Long, flexible, furry-looking branches. So its discovered was officially announced in September 2025, and it was a larger study published in the journal named Geotoxa. So the discovery of new deep sea coral species named Iridogoria chewbacca has captured the attention of both scientists and popular culture enthusiasts. Found in the which region? Western Pacific Ocean. So these corals have unique characteristic, and it names inspired from the iconic Star Wars character Chewbacca. The species was first spotted. It was first spotted in 2006, but only recently confirmed as a distinct species through with the help of detailed research and genetic analysis. About discovery and identification, the coral was initially observed over a decade ago, but remain unclassified. Recent studies involving genetic testing, examination of physical characteristic traits confirmed it as a new species after detailed examination. So Les Watling, Professor Emeritus at the University of Hawaii Manoa School of Life Sciences, played a key role in recognizing this coral's uniqueness while reviewing research from China. So Les Watling, Professor Emeritus at the University of Hawaii Manoa School of Life Sciences, played an important role in recognizing this coral unique characteristic while reviewing research from China. So they have encountered similar corals in Hawaiian waters and worked with NOAA. Watling identified it as a previously undocumented, not mentioned. So physical characteristic is it branches appear hairy, closely resembling Chewbacca's fur, and with a shiny surface that reflects light unusually. It grows upright and it's solitary on the ocean floors, single on the ocean floors, mirroring the tail structure of Star Wars characters. Scientific and what are the scientific and ecological importance of this significance? It explored the ocean biodiversity. Despite there is extensive studies of Pacific Ocean, new species continue to emerge, which reveal the vastness of marine life yet to be understood. Different marine lines yet to be understood. So documenting such species enriches knowledge of deep sea ecosystem and support conservation efforts. Prelims question is given. The newly discovered deep sea coral Iridogorgia chewbacca was recently in the news. So answer is given from after Star Wars character due to his hair-like polyps. Deep sea corals like Iridogorgia chewbacca was ecologically significant because they just go through all the question. Answer is given. And question 3 is given. It is for you to practice. Which of the following method is commonly used to study deep sea coral, such as the method is ROV, remotely operated vehicles. With these vehicles, it is to study deep sea corals. Consider the following statement. The answer is just pause the video and practice. Mains question are given. You have to pause the video and practice all. One-liner recap. New deep sea coral species Iridogorgia chewbacca, named after a Star Wars character, was discovered in Pacific Ocean, highlighting the ecological importance of deep sea habitats and the role of advanced technology in marine research. Next is about red-necked phalarope spotted in Tamil Nadu. Red-necked phalarope spotted in Tamil Nadu. A rare-necked phalarope was sighted for the first time at the Nanja Rayan Bird Sanctuary. Nanja Rayan Bird Sanctuary in Tirupur, Tamil Nadu in September 2025. So it was considered an unusual and significant record because the migratory bird rarely spot an inland water bodies. So the sighting adds the 192 species to the documented at the sanctuary. How many species? 192 species. So it is a rare-necked phalarope which is seen for the first time at the Tirupur, Tamil Nadu. Bird sanctuary name is Nanja Rayan Bird Sanctuary. So red-necked phalarope, scientific name is Phalaropus lobatus. Phalaropus lobatus, which is a rare migratory bird, but was recently seen at the Nanzarayan, sighted at the Nanzarayan's Bird Sanctuary in Tirupur State. So this marks the first time the species has been recorded in this inland water body, and it confirmed this sighting was confirmed by local birders and members of the Natural Society of Tirupur. About the red-necked phalarope, it is a small bird known for its distinctive red neck and spinning feeding techniques. So it breeds the Arctic and migrates south during winter to southeastern countries. So it feeds on tiny planktonic invertebrates found in waters. What are the significance of this bird at an Nanja Rayan Sanctuary? So this is important as the bird usually avoids inland. It's an important point. Birds usually avoids inland water bodies. So, but this rare species migratory bird is seen in these inland water bodies. So Nangarajan Bird Sanctuary now hosts 192 documented bird species. Previously, rare sightings include the Eurasian. Rare sighting is Eurasian renege and the pied ovocet. The presence of red-necked phalarope indicate the sanctuary's growing importance as a habitat and stopover point for few migratory birds. So about the ecology and behaviors, this bird feed on aquatic invertebrates by spinning on water surface, and this behavior help disturb and capture planktonic prey. The bird's migratory pattern connects Arctic breeding grounds with wintering sites in warmer climates. About the conservation and bird watching impact, this discovery marks the need to protect the inland wetlands like Nanjarayan. Prelims question is given the redneck phalaropes recently spot in Tamil Nadu, where it is a migratory shorebird known for spinning on water while feeding. Next question is the redneck Phalaropus robustus migrate primarily between Arctic region and tropical ocean winterings. Arctic region for breeding and tropical ocean during winter. Which of the following statements about redneck Phalaropus is or are correct? Kindly pause the video and practice. So it is seen in Tamil Nadu. Redneck Phalaropus is listed under which category in IUCN Red List? It is a list concern. Main question are given, so just pause the video and practice. One-liner recaps, the red-leg phalarope is a migratory shorebirds exhibiting different types of sexual dimorphism, was stored in Tamil Nadu, highlighting the importance of wetlands for migratory birds and need for the conservation. So it is about interesting fact about the unique feeding behaviors. They feed, how they feed? They feed by spinning in small circle in water, creating tiny whirlpools that bring plankton and small aquatic invertebrates to the surface, where which they catch with their beaks. They show sexual forms and sexual dimorphism and polyandry, means females are more brightly colored than males and compete for mates. So while males take the primary role in incubating eggs and carrying chicks, which is a rare phenomenon in birds. So this point is very important. Long distance migration. These birds breed in the Arctic tundra and migrate thousands of kilometers to tropical ocean during the non-breeding season. So making them excellent indicators of ecosystem health, climate change impacts along their migratory birds. Next news is Brazil leads investment in tropical forest forever facility, TFFFFF, Tropical Forest Forever Facility. Brazil is leading the creation of Tropical Forest Forever Facility, which is proposed of dollar 1 to 5 billion endowment fund designed to provide a permanent performance-based funding mechanism for tropical forest conservation, for tropical forest conservation. Tropical forest conservation. So Brazilian president name is Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Announced in late September 2025, the Brazil would make the first investment, placing $1 billion to the fund. So Brazil has announced it will become the first country to invest in tropical forest, first country to invest in tropical forest forever facility to support conservation of endangered tropical forest worldwide. So Brazil will become the first country. The investment is planned for a United Nations event in New York. Brazil's move seek to unlock further contribution for both wealthy and developing nation. So it could become a key deliverable for Brazil at COP30. The United Nations Climate Summit, it will host in Belgium this November. COP30, which we have discussed also in the previous slide. The background of this tropical forest forever facility, so it is proposed $125 billion fund. It will combine government and private sector monies. It is to protect tropical forest. It will operate like an endowment, giving annual payment based on how much forest remains standing. Its financial incentive directly linked to forest conservation. What are the Brazil role in investment? Brazil plans to make a considerable initial investment. They will set a benchmark for other countries. Brazil hosts the largest tropical forest in the world, Amazon forest. So that thus it stands to receive the largest payout from the fund. About international support and contribution, Other countries showing early support, including the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Norway, Singapore, and the United Arab Emirates. So together, this contribution could help raise the initial $25 billion, which are needed to attract further private investment. About the funding mechanism and goals, it aims to raise $25 billion from government and philanthropies initially. This seed funding is expected to leverage an additional $100 billion from private investors. So it is designed to reward countries that protect their tropical forest, encouraging sustainable forest management globally. What are the significance of global climate policy? So global climate policies bridges the gap between developed and developing countries' interest. So Brazil leadership in this initiative marks the growing role of tropical forest nation in global climate solution. Prelims question is given. The tropical forest facility recently led by Brazil investment is aimed at providing long-term finance for conservation of tropical forest. The tropical forest facility, next question, is designed to providing funding in the form of perpetual financial mechanism based on endowment funds. Next question is, which country has taken the lead? Brazil has taken to protect tropical forest forever facility initiative. Next question is, tropical forests are significant for global climate regulation because just to go through all the points. Next question is, the tropical forest forever facilities is closely aligned with which of the following international framework, which is aligned with Paris Agreement and Convention on Biological Diversity. Main question are given, just pause the video and practice. One liner recap, Brazil has taken the lead in investing the tropical forest forever facility, which is a perpetual funding mechanism to conserve tropical forest aligning with global climate and biodiversity commitments. It's key metrics and eligibility criteria and estimated annual payouts are given Brazil and Papua New Guinea, Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. So Brazil has the largest area of eligible tropical forest. About the Papua New Guinea already qualifies under current rates. Low deforestation, forest largely intact. About Democratic Republic of Congo, large eligible forest area, third largest after Brazil and Indonesia. After Brazil and Indonesia, a larger eligible forest area. Current deforestation above threshold approximately 0.7%, thus currently not eligible for payouts. So its estimated annual payout is given. Just pause the video and practice. Next news is Dhordo village becomes fully solar powered in Gujarat. So Dhordo village in Kutch district has recently become fully solar powered. Fully solar powered. Village name is Dhordo. Dhordo. So recognized by United Nations Tourism Organization as the best tourism village, Dhordo now joins 3 other solar villages in Gujarat. So this milestone marks Gujarat leadership in sustainable and clean energy. So under the Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, every household in Dhordo has been equipped with solar rooftops. So a total of there is 81 homes now generate their own electricity with a combined capacity of 177 kilowatts. So these projects aim to produce nearly 2.95 lakh units of electricity annually. So it can reduce electricity bills and provide an additional income source by selling surplus power to the grid. What are the economic benefits for villagers? It is expected to save about 16,064 annually on electricity. Combined saving and income from surplus power will bring over 30 lakh yearly to the village. So government subsidies and bank loans have made the transition affordable for villagers. What are the Gujarat's role in renewable energy? So Dhordo is the fourth solar village in Gujarat after Modhera, Sukhi and Maseli. Modhera, Sukhi and Maseli. Modhera, Sukhi and Maseli are already solar village in Gujarat. That reinforces Gujarat commitment to renewable energy and sustainable developments. About the community impact and local leadership, it credits the village progress to leadership at both center and state levels. This initiative has brought joy and pride to the community, showing how remote areas can benefit from green energy. There are many environmental significance. It can reduce dependence. It can reduce dependence on fossil fuels and lower carbon emissions. So this village serve as a model for other rural communities aiming for sustainability. Next news is Indian Coast Guard Commission Admea class first patrol vessel. Indian Coast Guard Commission, the first vessel name is Admea class first patrol vessel ICGS Admea on September 19, 2025. So the ceremony took place at Odisha, Paradeep Port in Odisha. So it was built by Goa Seafared Limited, GSL, Goa Seafared Limited, GSL, the FPV, part of India's Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative featuring over 60% domestic components. So India Coastal Guard ship Admea was commissioned at Pradeep Port, Odisha on September 2025. It was the first of 8 Admea class fast patrol vessel designed and built by India by Goa Ship Limited. So it's a help in strengthening Atmanirbhar Bharat with over 60% indigenous content. The vessel will operate under ICG region northeast from Paradeep, strengthening coastal security and surveillance. About the design and indigenous development, so ICGS Admea is 51 meters long and displaces about 320 tons. It is propelled by two 3000 kilowatt diesel engines and enabling speeds up to 28 knots. Over 60% of the ship components are sourced from Indian manufacturers, showcasing self-dependence in defense shipbuilding for India. So operational role and deployments, the vessel is based at Paradeep and will be controlled by Commander ICG District Headquarters number 7, Odisha. So it will perform maritime surveillance, coastal patrol, search and rescue and pollution control tasks. So its deployment strengthen the eastern seaboard's operational capabilities also. About the armament and defense system, ICGS Admea is equipped with 30 millimeter CRN 91 naval gun and two 12.7 millimeter remote control machine guns. So these weapons are integrated with advanced fire control system for precision targeting. About automation and technological features, the FPB includes an integrated bridge system for seamless navigation and controls. Automated power management is also there to improve energy use and operational endurance. About strategic importance, Admea exemplifies India's focus on maritime security and indigenous defense capabilities. Prelims question is given. The Admea class vessel recently commissioned into the Indian Coast Guard belongs to which category? First patrol vessel, FPV. Fast patrol vessel of the Indian Coast Guard are primarily used for just pause the video and practice. The Admea class patrol vessel of the Indian Coast Guard are built by Garden Research Shipbuilders and Engineers, GRSE. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the Indian Coast Guard? Pause the video and just go through it. Admea class FBV enhance India's maritime capability mainly in which domain? Coastal security and law enforcement. Mains question are given. Kindly pause the video and just write the question and practice it. One and a recap, the Indian Coast Guard Commission on Admea class fast patrol vessel built by GRSE, enhancing India's coastal surveillance and anti-smuggling search and rescue maritime law enforcement capability. So these are about the 33 updates from 15 to 22nd September based on science and technology. So my dear aspirants, science is not about the updates only. It is related with daily life also. So kindly practice all the updates. Pre and mains questions are also given. So try to practice, read, revise and keep growing. Kindly watch the next series. Thank you for watching.